Hello, wrestling fans. This is the Doghouse. You know, when I took over this program about 2 or 3 weeks ago, the promotion told me that this was my show. I could do anything that I want. And I held them to their word. But that's not the case lately because, you know, there's some things I like and there's some things I don't like. Today is something that I do not like. Now, you just watched a match on television between Mike Lazinski and Bulldog Bob Brown. Now, what happened in the match? Of course, you saw Bulldog all over Mike Lazinski. But what really happened at the end? Some smart-nosed young punk, I don't know where he's from the Brandon area. I don't want to mention because I don't want to hear anybody from the Brandon area. But some young man from the Brandon area got to do his thing by jumping in the ring. And you know who I'm talking about. Hey, the guy's been running all over the province of Manitoba, coast to coast and border to border. But you know, when the Tweety gets right down to the bottom, where was he when the challenges were made? Where was the man? Where was his so-called partner? Oh, they're out wrestling for some other organization. Now, I am talking about no other than Chi Cruz. There's no shadow of a doubt, wrestling fans, the guy's a great athlete. The guy's a tremendous performer in the ring. He gives you 150%. But let me remind you something, wrestling fans. I could be the world's greatest liar. So now, without any hesitation, for one moment, I want you to introduce you to my guest, none other than Chi Cruz.
Well, Bob Brown, it's no doubt you're the world's greatest windbag. But as for that match with Mike Lazinski, I was coming into the ring to help my friend. And if you've got something against that, that's fine, Bob Brown. But I've got nothing against you for that. What we did to you, we had to do. Because you've done that to us many times before.
Well, let me remind you something, Chi Cruz. Professional wrestling is a big sport. It's competition. You know, when the heat gets on, whatever happened to you? What happened to you and Flying Brian Jewell? You guys disappeared when the heat came upon you. Yeah, you took off. And you never did get the matches that you should have got because if you would have happened to got them, you would have got beat up.
Beat up? This is coming from a guy with a face so flat he could bite a wall. Now, Bob Brown, you listen to me. All right? I'm back in the WFWA and I've got something to prove. I didn't come in here to step on anybody's toes, Bob Brown. You stepped on mine. You came to me. You and the Natural and Stan Saxon, you've all think you've got something to prove by picking on me. I don't take kindly to being picked on, Bob Brown. I think you'll find that out.
Well, then let me ask you this question. There's not one time I can remember on 3 or 4 different occasions I saw you jumping in the ring to save your opponent. Now, what does that tell me? What does that tell the Natural or Saxon? The names that you just mentioned. Oh, you guys are the do-gooders. You know, anybody from Brandon, I can understand that.
Brandon's a hell of an area. I'm proud to be from around Brandon, Hartney, Manitoba to be exact. And we're going to be coming out near there. And I hope I get the chance to be in the ring with you, Bob Brown. I'm sick and tired of being out here. I'm standing next to you, sitting down on the couch, very relaxed, and you've got a beak off.
Well, why don't you leave that? This is my interview, and this is my show. And Chi Cruz, if you don't like to be on, hey, pick up your coat and leave.
Bob Brown, I'm going to do just that. Because sitting next to you, well, besides the smell, it hasn't been all that bad, you know? But when we get in the ring, Bob Brown, that's where I'm going to show you. I'm going to prove to you who's the better man. Tony Condello asked me to come out and do this program. I said, fine, Tony, I'll be glad to. You tell the Bulldog to treat me with respect, and I'll treat him back the same way. But, Bulldog, there's nothing more I want than to be in the ring with you.
That's what happens to smart aleck men that come on my show and think that they're going to get away with something. Don't you ever put your hands on me, and don't you ever talk about me again. Ladies and gentlemen, I just had to help him because he lost his balance. I'll see you next week.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.